A lot of women, specifically busy women, they lose their hair often after their pregnancies, after giving birth, and they don't know why. They go to their doctors, they go to their alternative health practitioners, and they still don't get any answers. And I want to explain to you today in that video what's actually going on in your body when you lose hair and what you can actually do about it as well. So maybe you were in that situation, okay, you were pretty busy already, okay, before your pregnancy. Maybe you ran your business, but you had also shiny hair, you never lost a hair in your life, everything was perfect. Then you got your first child, you got your first pregnancy, it was the first time for you giving birth, and after it wasn't the same anymore. First of all, you maybe didn't feel like before, maybe you got some more energy issues, some adrenal problems, maybe you got a little bit of brain fog, maybe you got even chronic symptoms like a thyroid diagnosis, okay? Which is also happening a lot after after pregnancies. And one of the main symptoms that women actually get after giving birth is hair loss. And they just don't know what's going on in their bodies because they never had it before. After the pregnancy, you start to see hair clogging down a drain. You start to see your hair everywhere around the room. You start to see it in your bed. You start to see it everywhere. When you go through your hair with your hand, when you use the hair dryer, there's hair flying around in your room. And it was never before like that. You always had like really strong, shiny hair and you never lost your hair. And here is specifically what's happening when a woman is losing her hair, specifically after giving birth. The main problem with hair loss for women, okay, it's specifically for women, is that the adrenals, which is a little endocrine gland on top of your kidneys, sitting here in the back, is producing, that's the issue with that. If these adrenals are weak, okay, if your adrenals are weak, then it is very much likely that you can get hair loss. And here's why. The adrenals, they produce a specific hormone that keeps the hair follicles alive, okay? And when your adrenals are weak, okay, then you can start to lose your hair because the adrenals don't produce the hormones anymore that are responsible for keeping your hair follicles alive. So you can lose your hair. This can even happen when you had a really bad incident even 6 or 9 months ago, and then 6 or 9 months later, you start to get hair loss because of that event, the adrenaline from that event, and the damage that was caused to the adrenals because of that incident, because of an accident, because of betrayal, whatever was happening. You can start to lose your hair because of that even 6 to 9 months or even a year later. And that's also exactly what's happening when you gave birth and then you start to lose your hair. Sometimes it's not even immediate after it, sometimes it can be also a couple months later. And what's happening is that when you're giving birth, it's one of the most adrenalizing events for a woman. That means that your adrenals pump out huge amounts of adrenaline, specifically when it's a birth that takes hours and hours and hours, okay? When it's a complicated birth specifically, then of course you need more adrenaline. And if you don't take care of your adrenals, even before giving birth, then you have even more weak adrenals. And the pregnancy, giving birth, can be the strip that broke the camel's back, okay? That could be the last thing that was tipping the scale in the end. That was weakening your adrenals to a degree that then you're at a point of getting hair loss because the adrenals they were already pretty low, but you couldn't see it in your energy or you couldn't see it in your hair loss. But then the pregnancy was the very thing that tipped everything over. And that's why women get hair loss after giving birth. And specifically busy women, like when you have a business, for example, and you're always around, you're running around, you have to take care of everything. Maybe you're even running on caffeine, which is one of the worst things and basically the worst thing when it comes to your adrenals and when it comes to hair loss. Caffeine in terms of coffee, chocolate, matcha tea, green tea, black tea, white tea, everything that has caffeine in there, which is even sometimes promoted as healthy, specifically for example matcha tea or green tea, is destroying your adrenals because of the caffeine, and it's also leading as one of the biggest instigators for hair loss. And if you're a busy woman and you need to run around all day, you need to stay focused, a lot of these women, they are under caffeine the whole day. You kill your adrenals already before your pregnancy, and then the pregnancy is the very thing that's that's basically the last drop that was tipping the scale. And then you're at a point where you have very weakened adrenals and you never took care of your adrenals. You don't know how to do it right now, and therefore you also don't know how to get rid of your hair loss, and then you don't know how to grow your hair back. But this is actually the key in growing your hair back. Okay, that's the key in recovering your adrenals. That's the key. And because every situation for women is different, some women even have more problems. They have weight gain after their pregnancies, they have thyroid problems, they have brain fog, they have energy problems, they have huge fatigue also as well. So the situations are very individual, and therefore I offer everybody a free discovery call. All you have to do is to go to my website www.theobergmann.com. The link is in the description, where you can book your free discovery call. And in that call we will figure out if and how I can help you, and then we would move on to a strategy call, which is also for free. It's the initial consultation. And in that call, we would explain to you a strategy for your specific symptom. We will look at your whole situation, of your work situation, of what's going on in your life, and how we can work on a strategy for you to incorporate that and to see what actually would make sense to you, and to see if it would make sense to you with the circumstances you're in, and if it could actually be helpful for you to get your hair back. And I would highly recommend you doing that, because if you don't do anything about it, the problem is that it is very much likely that you get even more hair loss, because if you don't take care of your adrenals, the hair loss is getting worse, and it's getting worse, and it's getting worse. And even if you think you take care of your adrenals, sometimes you think that, and sometimes you think you're doing it right, but sometimes a lot of people are not doing it actually right. So the problem is with that your hair loss can even get worse. You can even get bald spots on your hair. The shininess is not there anymore in your hair. And long term, you need to lose like maybe fake hair, even maybe you're already using extensions. So this is actually something that you can avoid when you are actually working on that, and when you seek out for help, because I already helped women getting back their hair, growing their hair back. A lot of women, they have problem with hair loss, and I'm telling you, no woman ever should lose only one hair in their life, but nowadays it's rampant, it's crazy, specifically when women have chronic illness. One of the main reasons they always have, and when I always talk about them about it, is that they actually have hair loss. So book your free discovery call. The link is in the description. Subscribe to my channel that you don't miss out on the next videos that I post on that content, and see you in the next videos. Bye bye.